So in this video, we're going to be looking at Dungeon Despise. It's kind of just in this little mountain range here. You can hear from just going up from Britain. But again, the easiest way to get to Despise Dungeon is just to take a recall rune from one of the vendor houses at Brit Bank. This dungeon's got a lot of unique things in it, and it's got great farming spots for all levels. It's got new player farming spots, it's got end game playing farming spots, and it's generally just overall very fun dungeon to be in. So when you come in here, you're going to be able to go up or down. If you go up, you're going to go to Despise level 2, and this has lizardmen in it. Now they don't drop the best gold ever, however they're quite easy to kill, so if you're a new player, this is a great place to start out. It has some basic treasure chests as well if you're trying to get into picking chests. And the other nice thing about this dungeon is all these lizardmen drop spined leather, which sells quite well. In dungeons, you'll often find these radiant shards, so you'll need to kill the mobs around them in order to pick them up, or at least get aggro onto something else. If you have a pet, this is a lot easier, but normally you'll just kill them. You can harvest these things, and then they give you a radiant shard, which sells decently on the market. They're used in crafting. So we'll just run around this dungeon and take a look at some of the mobs available. Here's kind of the hardest one of the lizardmen here. It's got a lot of HP. It's got some more chests here. And that's generally about it. It's got those three types of lizardmen. So you have the basic one here. Some more chests over here. Then you have the mage, or these are the fighter ones, so they have a lot of HP. They just hit hard for new players. And then the white ones are the mages. So that is Despise 2. There's a white one right there. Just watch out for those. They'll sometimes cast pretty high damage spells that to a new player will hurt, so those are probably the toughest ones that you're going to face as a newest player, whereas these ones, like the basic clubs, those are the easiest. So now we'll move into Despise 3. And if you want to go to Despise 3, you just go down the stairs instead. So Despise 3 is going to have Ettins and Earth Elementals in it. As you can see here, there's the Ettins. They're not much more difficult than the Lizardmen. So the Earth Elementals have a stun and hit a bit harder. So they're a little bit harder than the Lizardmen. So this is kind of like the area you would go to after you've played a bit and the Lizardmen are getting a bit too easy for you. It also has some chests scattered around it. And if you want to get to Despise 4, this is going to be the place you need to go first. Or you can just take a recall rune to the bottom. So there's basically some places in this game where you can recall into dungeons, and there's some places that you cannot. So in terms of Despise, you're actually able to recall into Despise 3. So most people, when they're going farming, they're going to be recalling into this area where I am right now. So you can recall in here, and then you can just run right down to Despise 4. Now Despise 4 is going to start off with, it has a variety of monsters in it. It's got the trolls to start, as well there's Earth Elementals, and they're not very difficult. They're still pretty easy in terms of overall fighting. In the back here, it's going to be more trolls to start, and there's actually one of the only places that nightmares spawn. And this isn't a good farming thing, but for taming, this is where you're going to want to go if you want to start taming nightmares. So one nightmare will spawn in this back corner right here. Then we can move on to the Titans. And the Titans are one of the greatest things to farm in this game in terms of just sheer gold. They're very difficult, but with the proper build, you can melt through them. But with the difficulty, they actually have quite a bit of gold, so they're giving almost 1,000 gold each. They're very good for making just pure gold, if that's what you're interested in. As well, a rideable pack beetle will spawn in this middle island, and as well now you're going to have some adeptly and some cleverly locked chests as well in this middle island here. You're going to start seeing Cyclopean warriors, and then the Titans. I just need to be careful because these things can kill me very quick if they hit me. As well, there is some more chests there. There's another chest in this back area here for lockpicking. If you're coming down to lockpick, spawns in this back area here. And if we just wrap around again, there's going to be some more lockpicking chests available for you. One's up here. I believe there's one back there. Or it might be, actually, I think it's in this back corner here. And there's just more Titans. There's Titans everywhere. Going down this little ramp, you can see there's going to be some Ogre Lords. They don't cast spells, but they're about as hard as a Titan in hitting and HP. As well as more chests for you to dungeon lockpick. And you can just see up here, there's more chests, and then there's just ogres here. So the ogres are quite easy to kill. They don't have a lot of HP. They're about as difficult as an Etten or an Earth Elemental. So that is the Titan area. Then we can move on. If we go back to the entrance, or where we came from into Stard 4, instead of going west, we can go south. Sorry, instead of going east, we can go south. And that'll take us to more Titans, more Cyclopean Warriors, but also Despise level 5. But we'll get to that in a second. For now, we'll just go down to this area here. So you're going to start seeing some trolls. And then we're going to see a few more Ettins up here. The first thing you can run into in this back corner is actually going to be the Acid Elementals. They're not too difficult. They're harder than an Ettin. They hit harder. They give a little bit more gold, but generally not a great place to farm. There's a few of them here. And then there's a couple more lockpicking chests, as you can see, available. And all the chests in Despise 4 are going to be either adeptly or cleverly locked boxes. So they're quite valuable. They're good boxes. It's a good way to make money if you want to do a lockpicker, but just be prepared to deal with all these monsters. So we're going to have Cyclopean Warriors as well as Titans in this back area here. Oh, I got hit. If I had reactive armor, the Magery thing is why its Magery is so strong, is it absorbs a lot of damage. But now that it's nullified, I have to be careful, because if I get hit once or twice more, I'll die. So, a couple more Titans in this area. And then if we just run back over here, we can find the entrance to Despise 5. So Despise 5 is just going to be back here, the very southern part. You need to go through this little teleporter here, and it'll take you to Despise 5. Despise 5, first of all, it has this merchant here, where you can buy these troll stones for 2 Unholy Flames. Unholy Flames drop off bosses. You can also buy them off of the player merchants. They're not too expensive. The nice thing about Unholy Flame, or this troll stone that you buy, is it can spawn a boss in the back corner. So we'll get to that in a minute. But the very front of Despise 5 is going to have these mage trolls. So they're about, I would say, equivalent to Titans in terms of damage and money. So it's just kind of like more like another Titan farm. Then if we move further back here, the first thing we're going to see is these killer pigs. And these things are not for fighting. This is kind of just like almost a trap. They suicide and blow up on you and do a ton of damage. So if you let it hit you once and then back up, it's going to explode. But if you were to run in here into the middle of this, they'll all explode at the same time and kill you. Don't farm these. Just avoid them. I usually just teleport over like that. And then you don't have to worry about it. And this takes you to the back room with Despise level 5. And as you can see in here, there's a few more mage trolls. Nothing too interesting, but the most important part about this is just this is where you're going to spawn the boss if you want to do it. So you would bring this troll stone to this thing here. You double click it, and it's going to spawn a ring event. That's going to start with regular trolls first, and then mage trolls second. And after that, the boss will spawn. And this boss drops these cool statues that you can see lining this room. So if you have your friends, or you just have a bunch of alts, you can come down here and kill this thing here. You can see it can drop one of those, one of those, or one of these. And that is Despise 5. Or just Despise.